It's where agriculture meets innovation here inside the Sandhills Global Event Center in Lincoln, Nebraska. Good morning to you. I'm Bryce Juska, joined alongside my colleague Chad Moyer as we broadcast here from the Nebraska Ag Expo. Back once again with our Sunrise Report, of course, this year brought to you by the Nebraska Ag Expo along with Crary Industries. Good morning to you, Chad.
Hey, good morning to you, Bryce. We're ready to go 3 big days here on the east side of Lincoln, I've been saying, huh?
Yes, you've been to every one of the Nebraska Ag Expos. I don't know.
At least in part.
In part.
There was that one year. We're not going to talk about it now, but there was that one year that I only made one day.
All right, fair enough. Yes, we won't talk about that, but this is our Sunrise Report where we talk all about the Nebraska Ag Expo. Let you know what's coming up here as part of the 3-day run again inside the Sandhills Global Event Center. If you haven't been out to the Nebraska Ag Expo, certainly want to encourage you to do so here in 2025 because, as I mentioned, it's all about innovation. There are so many things on display. We'll, of course, talk about that with Cindy here coming up in a second.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say second largest indoor farm show, the biggest on our side of the Mississippi River, 9.2 acres under cover here. I think it's 4 buildings that you can be walking through. I think that's the count if I remember right. But yeah, so again, like you say, just so many exhibitors. And what you said about innovation, the Iowa Nebraska Equipment Dealers Association really has taken innovation they've really taken it seriously. They have dedicated a large part of the Nebraska Ag Expo to innovation and something they call the Innovation Hub. And it's more than just startup companies. These are companies that are looking to make the next step into production agriculture to really solve problems. So it's more than just an idea. It's more than just a proof of concept company. Some of these companies have been around quite a while now, and they are really making a big impact.
And they come to the show because they want your feedback. The farmer, how would this actually work in your fields? We'll talk with one of those exhibitors coming up here in the show in a little bit. But first, let's hear from Cindy Feldman. She is the marketing director with the Iowa Nebraska Equipment Dealers Association. I caught up with her just a couple of days ago to learn all about the big show here in Lincoln. Very quickly is the annual Nebraska Ag Expo in Lincoln, Nebraska. This year's show, December 9th through the 11th at the Sandhills Global Event Center again in Lincoln. Joining us to preview that show, Cindy Feldman with the Iowa Nebraska Equipment Dealers Association. Cindy, we're getting close to the show. Great to connect with you once again. What would you say makes this show so special? Why so many people continue to return to Lincoln year after year?
It just keeps growing and keeps getting better and better. I think it's hands down the largest grouping of ag tech in the Midwest, which makes it really special.
That ag tech side, there's a lot of innovation inside what is the Sandhills Global Event Center. That's been a focus for you guys over the past few years because, farmers, they always want to see that big equipment, but it's also what's on the leading edge. What could be the future of agriculture? Got a couple of different chances people can see that innovation up close and personal, right, Cindy?
Yeah, we've got the Innovation Hub where people can actually see the exhibitors. We've got 73 exhibitors showcasing in that area this year.
Back inside that space where a lot of the new technology is, if you can narrow just maybe down to 1 or 2 of the products you've seen behind the scenes will be there this year, what do you want to make sure people check out?
Yeah, I think I'd give a shout out to Greenfield Robotics. They're a company we've been chasing for a few years now, and they're finally exhibiting at our show. They'll be front and center in the Innovation Hub in the Livestock Market Pavilion. I would definitely say come out and see them. They're about using swarm robotics, so multiple machines in the field to do the job and get it done faster.
Let's get the details. December 9th through the 11th. What are the show hours each day?
Show hours are 9 to 4 Tuesday and Wednesday and 9 to 3 on Thursday.
We are looking forward to the Nebraska Ag Expo. If somebody's coming out, want to save $5 on the price of admission, they can go online and register. What's the website to do so, Cindy?
Yeah, NebraskaAgExpo.com. Save $5 by registering in advance.
Cindy Feldman with the Iowa Nebraska Equipment Dealers Association joins us. Anything else you want to share with our listeners and viewers today?
No, we're telling Mother Nature to cooperate again. Usually we have some pretty nice weather to contend with. So We'll order that up for you. Come on out. We're excited to be there for you.
Again, the website, learn more, get registered is NebraskaAgExpo.com.
Thanks so much for that. Appreciate that, Bryson. It's so interesting how this has come together, how farm shows, they need to stay relevant, right? And how the Nebraska Ag Expo continues to stay relevant in that way. Like she mentioned, 120 new exhibitors. Wow. And that's really a testament to how, I would say, how viable this is and how relevant this show is, still is, right?
And of course, the Sandhills Global Event Center here in Lincoln comes to life with the Nebraska Ag Expo, utilizing every nook and cranny of the building. But it's year-round work for the folks at the Iowa-Nebraska Equipment Dealers Association. Appreciate Cindy sitting down with us for that pre-Ag Expo interview. Well, up next, we're going to talk about an exciting thing happening today here at the Nebraska Ag Expo. We talked that this show is all about innovation, and they want farmer feedback. And there's an event they're calling Front 40 Tech, hosted by the Combine, along with a few partners here inside the Sandhills Global Event Center, where they're inviting farmers to give their feedback on some of these really cutting-edge pieces of technology that are still being developed.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, Front 40 Tech, it's this is where that idea meets practicality, right? How can this be an impact to your operation? What would work better? Maybe what do we have to scale back? Whatever the case may be. Anyway, Alex had an opportunity to catch up with Brennan Costello and talk a little bit about this Front 40 Tech event.
Brennan Costello joins us. Brennan, an exciting opportunity. Tell us what we need to know.
Yeah, absolutely. We just started this. It's a brand new conference, so we're just trying it out. The Front 40 Tech Conference is designed for producers who are interested in working with startups. So we are specifically featuring Nebraska startups, bringing in producers who are tech-minded and want to be on the cutting edge of technology. It's a tough time in the ag markets right now. Technology is a way to reduce inputs, to increase those yields. And so understanding what is the latest that's coming out, whether it's water technology, whether it's some new robotics, whether it's a new piece of software that's trying to help you better manage what you do on the farm. This conference is specifically designed for farmers to talk to each other and to talk to startups about, here's what we're seeing on the farm. Here's what we want to try. Here's what it's like working with startups.
Certainly don't want to say just Nebraska startups, because these are big names that have, global reach. Talk about some of these startups who will be part of this conference.
Yeah. So one of the things I'm excited is we have a panel of startups along with producers who partnered with them early on to talk about what it was like to do that and how to do that. Every day I get to work with startup founders who want to build ag technologies and serve the ag market. And one thing that's really important to the success of that is making sure they're building things that producers want, that are practical. I don't know how many times you've been working on something and questioned how someone designed it, but we want to build startups that are useful to the farmer. And so getting a farmer on board in a super early stage is really important to those farmers or to those startups. And so we're hosting a panel to talk about what that's like. And that's full of these important startups. So NAE Analytics is a water monitoring technology that came through the Combine. Sentinel Ag is a nitrogen management company that came through the Combine. Grain Weevil, really exciting robotic company that also came through the Combine. All these different startups that are going to talk about how they did it and how they partnered specifically with farmers to build something useful for the farm market.
Thank you very much there, Alex, for that segment. Looking forward to Front 40 Tech. Did I get the name right there? Front 40 Tech.
Front 40 Tech. Let's make sure.
First year of that event. And if you'd like to learn more about it, we encourage you to come out to the show. Of course, be part of that today. And if you can't make it out, tune into the Rural Radio Network. We'll have updates throughout the day from the inaugural event, Front 40 Tech, at the Nebraska Ag Expo. If you're just joining us, by the way, this is the Sunrise Report, brought to you by the Nebraska Ag Expo, along with Crary Industries. It's Chad and I broadcast here inside the Sandhills Global Event Center.
Yeah, and we were talking about the new exhibitors. One of the new exhibitors is Greenfield Robotics. I actually had an opportunity to see this technology in use this summer.
Okay, what is it?
These are robots that you can go inter-row. They are to the point now where you can do all of the field work all year long, from spring through fall, without a tractor.
So single row robots.
Single row robots. Wow. They can do any tillage operation that you might need, although in a lot of the operations like organic or where there's cover crops, you want to leave some of that. Sure. So it'll keep it trimmed down, right? It can do herbicide application and things like that. So from beginning to end, they can do planting operations beginning to end, just with a single robot, and they swarm the field. You put a whole bunch of robots out there at one time, and it gets the work done.
It's the sci-fi
Yeah.
coming to life here at the Nebraska Ag Expo. And Alex had a chance to catch up with the folks over at Greenfield Robotics.
Greenfield Robotics is changing the ways that producers think about weed management. And today we're joined by Clint Brower to learn a little bit more about what you guys do. First of all, Clint, thanks so much for joining us. Share more about the work you guys do.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, we make little robots that we run in swarms, and we've been in paid fields for a while. And they weed, they foliar feed. We're working on cover cropping, and we're really working towards end to end.
Yeah, tell us a little bit more about the field results you guys have seen so far out in action.
Yeah, we've been running paid fields for 4 years, and so there's a couple things for farmers can use them for on weeding alone. One is weeding between the rows, cutting down pigweed or whatever else you're battling that maybe is resistant to sprays. Or if you're more regenerative minded or regenerative organic, you can go in and you can keep the cover crops trimmed between the rows, which we also started doing last year as well. So those are the two things we do weeding. And then what we say to folks, farmers, are we weed by day and we foliar feed by night. So once you weed an area, then you can go fill the tank and it'll reach underneath the leaves when the humidity's high at night, and it can run and foliar feed your crop at night.
Well, Clint, you guys are based in Kansas. You'll be coming up to Nebraska for the Nebraska Ag Expo. What do you hope those conversations look like with producers interested in what you guys do?
Yeah, I mean, look, we're in 17 state next year, but I still, learn things talking to farmers, and I am a farmer, by the way. So almost nothing we've ever done goes out the door before I've done it on my farm and some other trial farms subsequently. So, but no, just look forward to having the conversations and talk to them about what we do and how it can fit into their operation. Every farm's a little bit different, so there's a lot of similarity across most farms I've found, but everyone's got a little different way they do things.
All right, if folks can't make it out to this year's show, still want to invite them to check out Greenfield Robotics. What is the best way to do that?
I would just go to greenfieldrobotics.com and check us out there. And then you can kind of click around, or you can go on our social media handles and you'll see even more sort of updated stuff. I know we're reworking the website, but they'll get the idea there.
Excellent. All right, that's Clint Brower joining us. He will be at this year's Nebraska Ag Expo coming up in December, and you can check them out by going to their website. I'm Alex Makovic reporting.
And we welcome you back here inside the St. Hills Global Event Center. Brian Stuskit, Chad Moyer with you one final time as part of our Sunrise Report here on a Tuesday morning, the first of 3 days as part of the Nebraska Ag Expo.
Yep. So there's other things going on here. Of course, you can walk around the 4 buildings, 9.2 acres undercover. One thing we'd like to draw your attention to is the Expo EDU stage. We're actually putting on a program there talking a little bit about grain marketing and what's happening with that. If you listen to the Rural Radio Network, as I'm sure you do, you didn't let me finish, as I'm sure you do, you hear the Final Bell program every afternoon. And we're going to do a live taping of Final Bell here today with Jeff Peterson from Heartland Farm Partners in Lincoln. That's going to be at 1 o'clock. So we'll do the show, and then there'll be time for question and answers. So bring your questions about grain marketing today to the show here. We're on the Expo EDU stage. That's just one of them. There are actually 5 programs over on the Expo EDU stage. Robotics, like we were just talking about, drone use in agriculture, new technology, how startups, again, try and connect with farmers, are just some of the things that are on the Expo EDU stage. But again, live at 1 o'clock today, you can come and watch the live taping of Final Bell.
People always want to see Chad Moyer when we're here at the Nebraska Ag Expo. They stop by our booth here, and we're at 1052 and say, "Where is Chad?" And let's tell him he's somewhere. He is real, and this is your chance to come see Chad Moyer. Hey, if you notice that Chad has a little more pep in his step this morning, he's been up and at him since 5 a.m., Chad?
Oh, yeah, a little before that.
Been on the air since 6 a.m. Here's the reason why. You see this coffee in front of us? It's It's called Good Life, Great Coffee. And the Rural Radio Network, we have a coffee line now, and you can get your first chance to buy it here at the Nebraska Ag Expo. Again, stop by our booth, and that's the reason why you got so much pep in the step, Chad.
Well,
I think that's why.
I think
You
that
gave
is
a
the reason.
raving
Hey,
review of the coffee this morning.
I did. I had my first taste of Good Life, Great Coffee, and it is smooth. That is what I like about coffee. It is drinkable, a very smooth taste. Yeah.
There we go. Right here at the Nebraska Ag Expo, you can buy our coffee live. Well, that's going to do it for this morning's edition of the Sunrise Report. We thank our sponsors, the Nebraska Ag Expo, along with Crary Industries. Be sure to come out to the show and stop by Crary to see what's new in agriculture with them. Chad?
It's the first day. Exciting day. Come on out. Doors open at 9 till 4 o'clock today.
We'll be here the whole time. Thanks for joining us on this morning's Sunrise Report.